Hi everyone, I'm Vampy and this is the quick start guide for the EEW Wheel 6. This video is aimed at people who already know how to spin but who may not have used an eSpinner before. If you're a complete beginner, you'll probably find the Getting Started series more useful as I go into everything in a little bit more detail. When you open your eSpinner packaging, you'll find all these things and a couple of large bags of bobbin parts. To assemble each bobbin, you'll need 5 pieces, the 3 plastic parts and 2 bearings. Make sure you have 2 different ends. So this end has a flat bottom and this one here has a pulley whirl on it. Then the bearings just pop into a hole on each end and they screw on. So when you've got it all screwed together, you'll end up with the bobbin that looks like this. You'll also find a foot switch. It's got a really nice click to it. This is just used to turn off and on the spinner. We have the base, which has nice non-slip feet and also doubles as a battery cover. So if you've got the Talent Cell battery or others of a similar size, they can fit in here. To attach the battery cover to the main part of the spinner, have it so the solid bit is at the front, the open bit at the back. Take this and this, the pulley is at the front, so put that over all 4 screws. So you can see each screw goes into a little hole there, and then slide it till it clicks into place. There you go. Then you have your flyer, power supply and mains cable. Before I assemble the rest, I'll go over what all the bits and pieces on here are. Look at the back, you have a power socket there. When you plug your power in, this little green light flashes. So you know you've got power. That middle socket is for the foot switch. Then we move to the side. This button here is for your tension adjustment. This one here marks Z and S. That has 2 functions. It not only changes the spin direction from Z to S, it also acts as an on-off switch. So if I'm happily spinning along Z, if I just click it to S, the machine will stop. That's very useful if you are spinning at a certain speed and you want to be able to keep the speed dial in that position. The speed dial is here. It's numbered from 1 to 6, so you can make a note of what speed you're spinning at if you want to switch between projects. And this also works as an off switch. If you turn it down to 0, then it will stop spinning. Around here we have the drive pulley. Up here is the orifice hook that attaches by magnets to the top. We have another little magnet here at the back, which is very useful when changing bobbin or taking the flyer off for any reason, so you don't lose the back bearing. Now I'll show you how to put the flyer on. You have this bag here that has all sorts of useful bits and spares. So you've got a couple of drive bands, some spare springs, spare bearings. For the time being, you'll need 1 bearing and a black drive band. You'll put drive band over this groove here in the flyer. You see that? That will then attach to this pulley here and drive the flyer. I'll get my bobbin. The bobbin goes on the flyer shaft with this raised part at the back. Slide that on, slide the back bearing on, and then each of the bearings fits into one of the cradles and the front and back maidens. Make sure your drive band is in place and pop it round the pulley on the front. Then here we have the flyer hooks. These slide into whatever position you like, so you can get really nice even filling of your bobbin. You want to have the front one as far down as you can to guide the yarn from the orifice to where it's being wound on without touching on the bobbin. To be able to get started spinning, you will need a leader. That's just a piece of thread that goes from your bobbin to out here in front of the orifice for you to attach your fibre to. I have a loop here I've made of crochet cotton. You can use pretty much anything as long as it's plied, because you don't want to have to worry about unspinning it if it's a singles. And then I'm just hitching that on to the bobbin and giving it a bit of a pull so it's fairly tight. And put that through my two hooks. Use my orifice hook to go into there and pull it through. This part here is the orifice reducer, which makes the big hole that's about that big into a smaller hole. It's good if you're spinning finer yarns, because then you don't find it wobbles around so much while you're spinning. Before I get on with spinning, I'll go over the other bits in this bag. As I said before, some of them are just spares, some of them are additional things. You'll have one of these little screw knob things. This is an additional tensioner that fits into the back of the flyer here and just cuts down on any tiny little wobble you have when you're spinning super fast. I haven't found it's been necessary yet, but you may like it. You also have a really stretchy spring. The 6 comes with the spring installed. That's quite stiff, which is great for fat yarns down to about fingering weight. If you're going to be consistently spinning very fine lace weight, then you'll just get a bit of a lighter touch if you switch your spring out for this. There's also the manual, a spare orifice hook, and a couple of really useful little cards that have a wraps per inch guide and a angle of twist guide, so you can either replicate a commercial yarn or just keep consistent throughout a project by referring back to those. And a couple of spare O-rings for your flyer hooks. I'll put this to one side and go and get some fibre and show you how to spin. Right, I'm all set up and ready to spin. I have my spinner here. Speed is set to 0 so I can get a nice slow start. The direction is set to Z, which is conventional when spinning singles. I have my tension cord over this little groove in the bobbin, and the tension is fairly slack. You can see there's a bit of give to it when I press it. Nothing more. I'll start off without any fibre. I've got this nice long leader and turn up the speed. And I can feel this pulls on. Yeah, I can pull it off if I need to. That's a perfect level of take-up. You don't want it pulling out of your hands. You just want it winding on when you let it. Here I have some rainbow coloured Corriedale. It's good to have something that's got several colours in when you're starting off, because it lets you see your angle of twist more easily. I'll put this through my leader. I've got it wrapped through the leader, and now once I start it, I'll start drafting as well. You can see I'm getting the yarn pigtailing a tiny little bit in front of the orifice. That means I could do with upping my tension a smidge. There we go. And that will solve that. And that is really all there is to it. If you wanted to spin a finer yarn, then you'd probably want to put the speed up fast. At the moment I'm on 2 out of 6, so it's got plenty more speed to go. And if you're spinning a fatter yarn, then you would turn down the speed and probably up the tension to let it wind on better. Now I'm going to show you plying and the foot pedal. I've got it up here so I can use it with my hand just so you can see. For plying you will need some way of holding up your lazy Kate. Many of you who back the Kickstarter will have also gone with this lazy Kate. The post just screws into the base, and you put the bobbin on, put the pulley side downwards. Then if you get annoyed with the singles misbehaving due to there not being any tension on it, you can put one of the included bits of elastic through one of these clips around the pulley and into another clip. I've got my lazy Kates both set up here to my left. So I have my 2 single strands. I'm passing them through my leader. My tension is set a little bit higher than when I was spinning the singles. My direction to S and my speed's about 2.5. So I'll show you. You can simply start by pressing that with your foot. And then wait for twist to build and let it wind on. And that's all there is to it. I hope you enjoy playing with your 6 as much as I do with mine.